Here's a sketch for students, and it's about how to study smart from a famous YouTube video by Marty Lobdell. I'll put a link to it below. I'll just summarize these 7 study tips, and I'm going to categorize them into setup, core insights, and then just plain old tips. Here's the first one. Break it into study sessions. Generally 20 to 30 minutes. Break up into study sessions so that you can remember it and then take a break and go back to it and try again. Here's the second tip. Designate a study area. Try not to study in the places where you typically do other things because obviously you can get distracted there. Find a place that you can just say, this is my study area, and keep it that way. All right, on to the core tips. First, categorize. This is probably my favorite tip. Categorize your study content into facts and concepts. Not everything that you're studying is equal. Make sure that you understand the concepts and the frameworks, and then separately understand the facts that you need to plug into those frameworks. And that leads to the next tip. Take better notes. Try to organize your notes into those categories while you're taking them, and try to take notes right away after your lecture. Take some time on your notes. It's worth it. Now here's the 5th tip. Teach it. The best way to learn something is to try to teach it for somebody else. This is connected to your notes and to your categories, because if you can understand sort of the visual for how that particular topic plays out, well, then you can probably teach it to someone else, or at least summarize it in your notes. Now you'll notice even in these sketch videos, it's all about categorizing and organizing it in a way that it's easy to teach. All right, 2 more tips. The first one here is about how to read your textbooks. Now, that middle R there is reading, but the S and the Q are 2 things that you can do before you read. Survey and ask yourself some questions. Sort of frame up your reading time. Make sure you understand what you're reading before you start reading it. And then those last 2 R's are what you do after you read, and that is recite what you read and review it. The basic point there is don't just read something thoughtlessly. Put just a little extra effort into it. It'll be easier for you. And the 7th tip is to use mnemonics. Those are memory systems, memory devices. Like, for example, in math, the order of operations is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's a mnemonic. So take a look at these tips and see which ones maybe that you can start implementing in your study time so that you can study smart.